A massive win for Donald Trump, Resha. Of course, this is as per the Supreme Court, with the court's order now gives Trump complete immunity here. Of course, he will not be removed from the presidential ballot. Now, the Supreme Court has overturned a previous decision by a top court in Colorado.
Right, Shivan. Now, the Colorado court had barred Trump from the state's Republican primary ballot. The decision was based on a constitutional provision related to insurrection in connection with the January 6th Capitol attack.
In a 9-0 decision, the Supreme Court unanimously reversed the 19th December ruling by Colorado's top court, which had disqualified Trump from holding public office again. In a first, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution was cited to disqualify a presidential hopeful.
Now, in its order, the U.S. Supreme Court writes, and I'm quoting here, "We conclude that states may disqualify persons holding or attempting to hold state office, but states have no power under the Constitution to enforce Section 3 with respect to federal offices, especially the presidency."
In addition to being excluded from Colorado's ballot, Trump had also been barred from the ballots in Maine and Illinois based on the same 14th Amendment.
Reacting to the news, Trump called the ruling a big win for America. Notably, Trump had appointed 3 of the current Supreme Court judges. Take a listen.
Well, thank you very much. I want to start by thanking the Supreme Court for its unanimous decision today. It was a very important decision. We're very well crafted, and I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs. And they worked long, they worked hard, and frankly, they worked very quickly on something that will be spoken about 100 years from now and 200 years from now.
Trump is the frontrunner for the Republican nomination. His only remaining rival for his party's nomination is former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. Well, the ruling comes a day before Super Tuesday, when most parties in the U.S. presidential primary cycle hold nominating contestants.
All right, for more on this, we're being joined by Ms. Irina Sukuman, human rights and national security attorney and international affairs analyst, joining us live from Washington, D.C. Welcome to World DNA. Of course, I want to get to it directly, ma'am. Now, the court's decision comes just one day after one day before Super Tuesday. And I wanted to understand from you, Trump currently holds an overwhelming lead in the race for the Republican nomination. Talk to us about what kind of impact this will have in the ongoing election campaign. Of course, it's a big decision which goes in Trump's favor.
Yes, indeed. I think the most immediate impact is that he will be restored to all of the ballots in the remaining states which have held off removing his name pending the Supreme Court decision. Obviously, what applies to Colorado will apply to the other 2 states as well, and new challenges on that ground are obviously not expected as well. And this decision is also a very strong precedent for any future challenges of that sort. Essentially, the states hold no power over over what is basically federal jurisdiction, so they will not in the future be able to use justification for other candidates either.
The Supreme Court did not weigh in if January 6th was insurrection or not. I want to seek your assessment that will the former U.S. President Donald Trump use this as a basis for saying that he is exonerated from everything that he has been accused of?
He will certainly try to do that, but it's worth noting that he was never charged with insurrection or even direct participation in a riot. There has been accusations against him for inciting riots, but not the constitutional crime of insurrection, and he was never convicted of insurrection, nor has he been convicted yet of any other crimes. Those issues are yet to be addressed by the courts. So it is fair to say that so far he has had no convictions, But this particular decision cannot be interpreted as exonerating him either from the crimes he has actually been charged with or anything he could be charged with but hasn't been. It is a procedural decision that weighs in entirely on the constitutionality of the states attempting to apply federal clauses to candidates running for federal office. It has absolutely nothing with the substance of the discussion about whether or not January 6th was an insurrection and what role, if any, Trump played in those events.
Right, Ms. Sukuman, thank you so much for taking out time and joining us here on WION.
Thank you.